I come up with a brand new intro, and Barcelona start the season with a loss. Now, I'm just kidding, guys. I'm just kidding. Welcome here to TalkFCB and welcome back to the channel. Our pre-season is underway, and I said before the game, do not worry about the result, and that absolutely stands here. Yes, in this game, the first game of our brand new season, in pre-season here, it's Chelsea 2, Barcelona 1. We've lost on the night. We have gone down there by 2-1, but at the same time, I actually think here the performance in many areas was quite promising. I think we did some good things. Chelsea, like we said in the preview, much further along in their preparations. This here was their fourth pre-season game. With Barcelona, we're just starting off. They're going to be sharper, they're going to be fresher, they're going to be much match sharper, and that's massive in these kind of moments. And I think today we squared up very well. I think, yes, we've lost the game 2-1. It's not ideal. You never want to lose any game, but at the same time, this is the time to do it. It doesn't matter. We've got to put that aside now, focus on the positives, focus on the performance, and in today's video, we are going to be looking at the good, at the lineups, the different things we saw today. We saw many different players, and we're going to be discussing it all right here. Thanks for joining me. Let's do this. And if we start first and foremost by discussing the first lineup that Ernesto Valverde went with in the first half, starting here with Marc-Andre ter Stegen, who didn't really have an awful lot to do for Chelsea's goal. Maybe he was rounded a little bit too easily by Tammy Abraham, and he did flap at something earlier on in that half. But look, players are going to be rusty. That's what happens when you have a whole summer off. You go on your summer holidays, you come back, it's your first competitive game as such. You do take a bit of time here to get back into it. Jordi Alba was on the left-hand side. He got up and down, much like he always does in that left-back role, and I was really impressed here to see Samuel Umtiti starting alongside Gerard Piqué. That's the way that it should be. Hopefully he can stay fit right throughout the season. One thing that really puzzled me though in this first half was this Oriol Busquets and Sergio Roberto situation, because actually we thought Oriol was going to start in here, maybe as a double pivot there with Sergio, but no, Oriol started as the right back, and Sergio Roberto here was pushed forward into a midfield role, and that there was really strange for me, and I actually think because of that, I don't really know what Ernesto Valverde was trying to do in that first half. I actually think there we were much better, even though perhaps in the second half there was more B players. I think we were better in the second half in terms of our passing, in terms of our creative play, a lot more chances we had in the second half, and of course eventually we did get our goal. And so Busquets in the holding midfield role, obviously that was where the Chelsea goal came from, the mistake there from Busquets. We are going to be coming on to that in just a moment. And Riqui Puig in midfield, who I have to say, in that first half, he was the diamond. He was really there, the standout player, the quality within, because that midfield there around him, Busquets maybe a bit shaky, maybe a little bit slow to get going. Sergio Roberto, I feel, didn't really have a great game there in that advanced midfield role instead of playing it right back. So I think really there where the onus is on Puig to really come forward and impress and carry the ball and take the ball and move with it. And I think every time I watch him, I just think he's so calm, he's so mature, he looks so good on the ball, like he fits in here, and I think he really is ready here to make that step up, and he was so good again in that midfield. You had Collado here from the left hand side. He didn't really have as much of an impact maybe as he would have liked, as Carlos Perez did in the second half. Antoine Griezmann leading the line, and Ousmane Dembele. And we did see a few glimpses of what those two might do as a combination. Griezmann, I think, certainly looked bright, he looked sharp. Of course, you're going to see bigger and better things from Griezmann, but there were a few moments where he was a bit of interchanging of play. He was passing and moving. There was a moment as well when Alba was down the left-hand side, and Griezmann made a nice little Barça-esque run just to try and get onto the ball coming into the box. He didn't quite get onto it, but the signs were there that Antoine Griezmann can fit into this role, he can fit into this team, and it will be very encouraging when he does. Ousmane Dembele at times had a lot of the ball. He had some nice dribbles, he had some nice moments. You could certainly see the raw pace, the raw talent. A few times though he did get the ball away. He was a little bit sluggish on the ball at times. Maybe they're giving it away a few times too many. But at the same time, like I keep saying here, guys, it's the first game of pre-season. You've got to give these guys a chance. Busquets made a mistake. Dembele gave a few balls away. But at the end of the day, give them a chance. If this happens at the start of the season, a different story. But right now, it's the first game. Let everybody have their moments. Let them get into their rhythm. And that there was what we saw in the first half. And before we do come on to that second half lineup there and what went down in that second half with the changing in personnel, we have to talk about the goal that came in the first half there from Tammy Abraham, who scored for Chelsea, and it was a big individual mistake. And I think it was a real shame actually, because I think we were playing quite well. We had most of the ball in that first half. Chelsea didn't really create a massive amount of chances, and I think there it's Busquets, he's playing out of the back, and that's the way that we want to play. Essentially, we don't want Busquets to be putting it up the field midfield in a long ball and just getting rid of the ball. We want to pass out the back, we want to play at the back, that's the way we do it. So at times, these mistakes will happen, but obviously, when he's up to speed, you would hope there that he would see there he was being closed down. You know there you can't give the ball away in that area. If you do, it leads to a goal, because there's nobody there to make up for it. The centre-backs have split, Busquets there, plays it into no man's land. Suddenly then Chelsea, a one-on-one there with Marc-Andre ter Stegen, and Tammy Abraham I think actually does very, very well. It's a good finish from him. He rounds ter Stegen, gives Chelsea the lead, and going into half-time, they led 1-0. And I really do have to say, guys, when you do move on there to the team that played in the second half, like I said there, I felt like this was a much, much better display and a really good system actually to play at Barcelona. In terms of the attacking play, I thought we structured it really, really well. You got Neto in goal, who maybe I felt could have done a bit better there. For Barkley's goal, it was put into him, it was sort of at his near post, he didn't quite get across the goal quick enough, but he did make a really, really good save. There was a really, really good effort coming in there from Chelsea from the edge of the box. It was clearly a big, big deflection there when it hit the Barcelona centre-back, and Neto had to react, and he did so very, very well. It was Guillem here who was filling in at left-back there for Jordi Alba, Longley and Todibo at centre-back. Semedo did a few good things here on the right-hand side, getting forward as well. Malcolm was ahead of him, and he played actually very, very well down that right-hand side. Frenkie de Jong making his debut there in the Barcelona shirt. That was really, really good to see, holding at the base of midfield, and I think really that midfield did function really, really well with de Jong holding. You've got Rakitić here who was able there to get forward a bit more. Carlos Alenia as well, who was also making some good forward runs. He had a good shot as well, which was saved by Kepa. And I have to say, this front three right here really, really impressed me. I think Carlos Perez had some really bright moments. He was looking really sharp, really pacey. He really troubled Chelsea there, getting in behind, made some good runs, a good dribble as well, which took on one or two players, and he very, very nearly had his goal. A few times you did feel like he was a bit hesitant. The ball was coming to him. You were thinking, shoot, get your shot away now, but he delayed it, and then the chance was gone. But I think pretty promising signs there on the left-hand side from Carlos Perez. Rafinha here in this false nine role, I think was brilliant. Malcolm, Rafinha, Perez, they called Chelsea a real problem, and Rafinha was at the heart of that here. He was dropping in, he was making runs in behind, he was linking the play, and I think really close control, dribbling, getting past his man there, creating opportunities, creating space. He was really effective there, Rafinha, and if he can stay fit, who knows what could happen. In pre-season, he usually does do some very good things. The question is there, can he convert that into competitive games there in a Barcelona shirt? And most importantly, will he be given the opportunity to do that? But certainly here, a very, very good start to his pre-season. Malcolm coming on there for the second half as well, making an impact on that right-hand side. And like I say, that there was a good performance in that second half. We played the ball around well. Yes, Chelsea scored a second, but still, we kept our head up, we kept playing our football, we were creating chances. Because you look at the stats there, Kepa had far more saves than actually our Barcelona goalkeepers did. He was in the goal there, he was making save after save after save. The shots are raining down on him. He put in a good display, but Barcelona created chances here. And in our first pre-season game, we're on the losing side, yes, we've conceded 2 goals. That's not brilliant. But at the same time here, like I keep saying, guys, this is the very first game. Let's see how things develop. Let's see how certain players can really hone their game and actually improve that sharpness. And hopefully, we'll see an improvement overall. But of course, I've got to talk there about that Barcelona goal. It came in the final sort of moments of the game. If you'd watched up to that point, you thought, would we score? Would we score? Well, finally, we got our reward, because it was a wonder goal. It really, really was from Ivan Rakitić. And yes, he has his criticisms. Yes, he has his faults, his flaws. But the one thing we know he can do is this. A wonderful, wonderful strike. He gets the ball there. It's cut back to him on the edge of the box. And it's a wonder goal. Straight into the top corner. No chance for the goalkeeper. He's diving there at full stretch. But Rakitić, it's a beautifully caressed shot. A wonderful goal. And that was deserved. For Barcelona there, we created chances. We played well in spells. We played some nice football at times. And I think there we deserved a goal. And ultimately, to get ourselves on the score sheet, we have lost this one. But ultimately, better to come. Some promising displays today. And certainly against Vissel Kobe, the preparation, it continues. The momentum, it starts to grow. You get that sharpness back. Barcelona, game by game by game, should be getting better and better. We have to now see that evolution and ultimately improvement right throughout that team. We started off today. The season is underway. And hopefully from here on in, things get better. So please leave your thoughts in the comments down below, guys. One quick thing before we do finish today. Really sad, actually, that Hiroki Abe didn't get to play in this game. Just before the match, it was confirmed that he would miss this one due to injury. But the good news is, he is going to get a chance to play on Japanese soil. He is going to be back for the game against Vissel Kobe. That's good news there. That's why he wasn't involved today. But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What did you think of the players that we did see? The team from the first half, the team from the second half? Who were the players that really impressed you? Let me know in the comments down below. And of course, more videos coming up very, very soon. Thanks for your support, but until next time, As always, Visca El Barça.